What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing some food swaps that I've made in my diet to make it healthier, to try and cut out less processed stuff, to try and cut out unnecessary things that I have in my diet, just to make myself healthier, to live a healthier life, and all that jazz. And I'm obviously going to put a disclaimer in here. As you guys know, if you guys have been subscribed to me, you guys know I'm vegan. If you guys aren't subscribed, well, I'm vegan. I'm not going to discuss about vegan swaps, things like that. We're not going to get into that because really I just want people to live a healthy life. I don't care if you're vegan, plant-based, whatever you do, as long as you're living a healthy lifestyle and you're eating plant foods and you're getting the nutrients you need, that's all I really care about. So it's not going to be all about vegan swaps or anything like that. If you want to see a video like that, let me know down below if you want to. But today it's just going to be about healthy swaps that I've made in my diet to live a healthier life. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. All right, so the first healthy swap that we're gonna be talking about is peanut butter. I love peanut butter so much. It is so good. And I've swapped out regular peanut butter for the natural peanut butter because I gotta tell you guys, there's a lot of stuff in the craft peanut butter and the processed peanut butter. So if you guys look at your peanut butter, look at the ingredients and it should literally only say peanuts. That's it. A lot of craft peanut butter has additives in it like icing sugar. And icing sugar, you guys don't need extra sugar in your diet. You don't need that extra stuff. It is so totally unnecessary. And craft puts that in there so it's a little more addicting. However, I still find when I made the swap, this was just as addicting and still just as good and makes me love peanut butter just as much. Peanuts are already high in calorie and fat and you don't want to have the extra sugar and the extra carbs in there from that. So just make the swap over to natural peanut butter. You want to have the peanut butter that separates. You know when you go to the grocery store, the oil and the peanuts are separated and you gotta stir it kind of thing. That's when you guys know you have healthy peanut butter. Also, some peanut butter does have added salt in it, which is also unnecessary. I think that it just tastes way worse when it's salty. So really make sure that the ingredients on the back is just peanuts. That's it. Don't find the ones that are already pre-mixed or already set the way they are. Make sure you just get the natural one. This is really good because it just literally has peanuts in it and no extra additives. All right, my next swap is yogurt. So I used to eat regular yogurt. This is what David eats, and now I have swapped over to the unsweetened one. Regular yogurt really has a lot of added sugars in it, and that's just not good. A lot of people don't realize how much added sugar is in it. You look at the calories and you think, okay, it's not too bad. There's not too bad of calories. But when you actually look at how much added sugar is in your yogurt, it is quite a bit. So I've actually switched over to the unsweetened yogurt. This is the Silk coconut yogurt. It is not the best plain, I'm gonna admit that. I don't eat it plain. I add maple syrup into it. If you guys have seen my full day of eating, then you guys know that I literally have this almost every single day, and I add maple syrup into it to make it sweet. Maple syrup is a natural sweetener and it just makes this a lot healthier. You can control how much sugar goes in there because a lot of times you can't control what goes into here, but you can control how much goes in here, and it's so much less sugar than having this. So a little swap that I've made is going to unsweetened yogurt and sweetening it myself so I know how much sugar is in there than just buying the ones that are already sweetened with tons of sugar in it. Keeping on kind of the breakfast train, we're going to be talking about oatmeal. I'm not the biggest oatmeal fan, I will admit it. I don't love it. It just is not the best texture. It's the texture I really don't like. But sometimes I will dress it up and have some because I know it's good for me. So I have made the swap from going from pre-packaged oatmeal to just regular oatmeal. First of all, it's a lot less waste if you literally get it in bulk, and there's so much less stuff in it. If you guys look at your pre-packaged oatmeal, there's usually a lot of additives in it to keep it like that, whereas literally I just buy oats. That's what it is. That's what oatmeal is. A lot of times we get distracted of the actual natural product where we go and buy the prepackaged stuff because it's a lot easier. We're taught to think that it's easier just having the prepackaged stuff when it's literally the exact same thing as buying it in bulk or buying just plain oatmeal, just without the additives. It's as simple as that. We tend to think oatmeal is healthy when we get the prepackaged stuff. Well, especially a lot of prepackaged stuff has a lot of sugar. Sometimes it will like have maple syrup flavoring or have a flavoring or something, which then makes it high in sugar and has a lot of processed items in it when you can just control what goes in your oatmeal. For example, for me, I like to dress up my oatmeal a lot, of course, and then I can also control how much sweetener goes in it. It's very similar to the yogurt. I will put my maple syrup in it, but I get to choose how much sugar goes into it. Whereas if you're buying something prepackaged, there's already tons of sugar in it and you don't need that, and you're not controlling how much sugar goes into it. So just buy the regular stuff. It's just the same thing and you get to control what goes into your oatmeal. All right, so the next thing is really gonna show my Canadian-ness. Just bear with me. Anyways, we were talking about oatmeal and my yogurt and what I put into it, and that is maple syrup. And so maple syrup, I prefer to use this over white sugar. White sugar is very, very highly processed, whereas this is a natural sweetener. Now I know not everyone has access to real maple syrup. There's a lot of fake maple syrups out there which are obviously not that great for you, and obviously having an abundance of sugar in your diet is not good. I'm not saying just chug this stuff. Really, please don't just chug it. You're gonna just go into a shock of sugar. However, it is a better swap to swap out white sugar for maple syrup. So try and find some real maple syrup, order some from Canada, find yourself a Canadian friend to send you some of this stuff. It is like liquid gold. It is so good, and it is just so much better when you have more of a natural sweetener in there. And sometimes I like to choose agave nectar, people pronounce it differently. Anyways, I prefer to choose that sometimes too because it can be sometimes cheaper and more accessible than maple syrup. So I try and switch in between the two, but my number one go is maple syrup rather than having white sugar. It's just healthier overall. The next swap that I've made in my diet is using buckwheat flour. So white flour is very highly processed and really not good for you and has almost no nutrients in it, whereas buckwheat flour is a lot healthier for you and has more nutrients in it. There's tons of flours out there. I chose buckwheat flour because I find it easiest to work with. I find like some of their flours can be very dense or very thin and just don't work as well. Whereas this one I find is pretty similar to white flour. It just has the nutrients. White flour, there's just really not great things about it, and it's just not that great for you. So when I'm making meals at home and I need flour, like in pizza, if I'm making homemade crust, if I'm making hamburgers, something like that, you guys have seen me use this, is buckwheat flour. It's just healthier and so much better for you. This is a pretty recent swap of mine. It just is a lot better than using white flour, bleached flour. It's just not good for you. Okay, you guys get it? It's just not good. So make the switch over to a different kind of flour. My preference is buckwheat flour. All right, last but not least, we gotta talk about what we drink, what we consume when we drink. So a lot of times when we drink, sometimes we're drinking extra calories, which is really unnecessary for our bodies and obviously not healthy for our bodies. So I'm talking about juice. Juice is really not good for you, and I'm talking about the highly pressed stuff, not the cold pressed fresh juices. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Oasis juices, all the processed juices that just have literally so much added sugar in there. It is so bad for you, and we tend to forget that. We think that because it has oranges and apples on the front that it's healthy. It's really not. If you're drinking something that's literally coming off a shelf and not out of a fridge, then I'm pretty sure it is so processed. And if you're drinking something from concentrate and that's not fresh, that is a problem too, because it means that it has a lot of extra sugar in it. So that is something that we tend to consume that we forget about. We think that it's healthy because it has an apple in front, when really, in reality, it's not. We're consuming so many extra calories that our body doesn't need. And of course, we gotta talk about soda. Soda is really not great for you. We all kind of know that. That is not the best, but sometimes we do crave that kind of bubbly taste, and sometimes we do want something a little sweet. I'm not saying that we have to not drink anything sweet all the time. It's just in moderation. So of course this is all in moderation. I mean, you guys don't have to live strict diets all the time. I swear I don't. And this is what I'm gonna share with you guys. The swaps that I've made in my diet to reduce my consumption of soda and juices. So of course I just drink a lot more water in my diet. It's healthier for me. And sometimes I'll put lemon in my water to make it a little more flavorful if I need to. I know sometimes people really don't like that, but you tend to get used to it. Another swap that I've made in my diet to reduce a lot of my mainstream soda intake is with these two. So I'm talking about some Zevia and some La Croix. So this is obviously a sparkling water. A lot of people don't love sparkling water. I didn't at first, especially plain sparkling water is like, oh, I just can't stand it. But if you have one that's a little more flavorful, my favorite sparkling water is La Croix. It just has a lot better flavor than some of the sparkling waters that I've tried. I prefer La Croix, that brand. It's just so much better, and it has no additives in it. It literally has carbonated water and some flavor in it just to make it a little more flavorful. And then also Zevia. Now you're probably like, dude, that's a soda. Yes, I know, it is a soda, but it's a lot healthier soda, I guess you can say. It's not great, it's all about drinking in moderation. Sometimes I just really want a soda and I just want to have, you know, that like sweet little thing. You guys know what I mean and what I'm getting at. Zevia is a 0-calorie soda made with stevia leaf extracts. That is hard to say, Zevia stevia. And so I just have that every once in a while. I honestly don't have it that often, but it is so much better than drinking like Coca-Cola, 7-Up, or whatever. I'm really trying not to shake these too much because I'm scared that they're gonna like explode when I open them next time. But yeah, these are just some healthier swaps that I made in my diet. So try and check out Zevia if you guys have some. I know that they're pretty worldwide right now and they're very good. They don't have all the fake coloring in them, all that jazz. Like literally it's like clear soda. You guys couldn't tell the difference of what different kind of soda it is because it literally doesn't have any different coloring or anything like that. It's just a lot healthier. It doesn't have all the extra additives. There's very minimal ingredients in this compared to soda, like regular soda that you guys can get literally anywhere. So check these guys out. Try and find a sparkling water that has some good natural flavors in it and try and maybe check out Zevia, see if you like it. It really tastes not that much different than regular soda. So yes, those are some of the food swaps that I've made in my diet just to reduce a lot of extra things that my body just doesn't need. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you guys have any food swaps that you guys recommend. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. You guys know where it is, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Cold inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drink your night.